Hi everyone, great to be with you again. Back to the wonderful story of the prodigal son, and he has just met his father and received forgiveness, not through his own work, but the grace of God. And we're coming now to the end of the first part of the parable. And you might think that actually the parable should be nearly finished. It's the parable of the prodigal son. Some people have said it should be called the parable of the older brother, because that's the second half. It's not just one son, but two sons who are involved. But let us finish first with this key part about the younger son. And we read what the father is doing for his younger son. He says to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him, put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And so they began to celebrate. There's an old joke saying who was unhappy when the prodigal came back. It wasn't just the older son, it was also the fattened calf, who didn't get such a good deal. But that's not the point. The point is the gifts the father gives the son. We have 4 different gifts that are given that show just how much our godly Father gives us when we come to him in penitence. The first is the best robe. Almost certainly that would have been the robe of the Father himself. The robe is put around the son. He doesn't even need to wash, which would normally be the case. He is accepted as he is, and the best robe put on him. Isaiah 61 verse 10 says, "They were clothed with garments of salvation and robes of righteousness." The idea here is that this robe is a symbol in Jesus' eyes, telling the story of course, that we are saved. We are saved from the just wrath to come. God forgives us and makes us right in him because we've accepted his grace. The second gift is the ring. Almost certainly that would have been a signet ring. Of course, a signet ring is the ring you sign things with that proves you have the authority of the Father. Jesus is saying at this point that this son is so accepted, he now has the legal authority of the Father himself. And so with us as Christians, Jesus tells us that we have power to forgive. We have power to do things in his name, to claim his power of the Spirit in healing or in love. We have the authority of the Father in this world. It is an astonishing thing. And then thirdly, he is given sandals. Now, this is not only a sign that he was so poor and desperate he had no shoes, but sandals are a sign of a free man, not a servant. And this is in front of all the servants and people there. They are told in no uncertain terms, by actually all 3 of these things, the robe, the ring and the shoes, that now the boy is fully accepted. He is accepted truly as a son of the Father. A full heir once again, despite what he had done. The servants are told in no uncertain terms, "Look on him as my son." And this is the spiritual value we have to God. We are his children and heirs of the promise. And finally, the 4th gift, of course, is the calf itself. To kill the fattened calf meant, of course, a feast. But a calf is somewhat bigger than a goat or a sheep. No refrigeration back then. To kill a calf and to consume it means a lot of people to be eating all at once. And this means actually the whole village is invited. Everyone is invited to the celebration. If you want to come, you are welcome. This is the feast of a repentant sinner who's accepted God's grace. God celebrates with all the angels in heaven and anyone who wants to join in. These are the gifts God gives to us. He gives us the robe of salvation, the authority of the ring, the shoes of freedom, and the celebration of the feast for all eternity. What a great God. But just to finish, there's the fly in the ointment. What about the older son? That's what we come to next.